Question, what is the exact right number of immigrants for the United States to let in? It is just very specific on the context. If you go back to the 1920s, the United States passed an Immigration Reform Act that effectively cut down immigration to close to zero for 40 years in this country. And what happened over those 40 years? The many people who had come from many different foreign countries and different foreign cultures, they assimilated into American culture. And
So that was a bunch of bullshit that he was saying, and I knew it was bullshit, which is why we looked it up. So what actually happened, it seems, from how this article is portraying it at the very least, is not many countries, Western European, let's be very exact, let's be very precise, white people. So the white people came together and they created a stigma against the outsiders, and that is the identity that he's referring to. That's very based. The Immigration Act of 1924, also known as the Johnson-Reed Act, reduced the quota to 2%, while supporters argue that this percentage would preserve the country's ethnic homogeneity. That's what he's talking about. He wants to preserve the ethnic homogeneity. He needs to keep America white again. So in World War One, after soldiers returned from World War One, and there was the max influx of immigrants. It would make sense that people trying to get jobs are competing with immigrants, and there's just all these new people that there is a struggle. What other event took place that drastically changed America that also corresponded with a mass influx of immigrants? I'll let you think about it. You're correct. COVID. COVID happened. We shut down our borders, and a lot of jobs were restricted. And then once the borders got relieved or opened again, because what was it, Title 42? I forget. Title 9, I don't remember. Basically, Donald Trump's executive order became null and void, and a lot of people had to get jobs now, and so did immigrants now trying to come into the country. So they correspond at the same time. So two very drastic events that affected the amount of jobs people can get. Title 42. Okay, there you go. Appreciate it. So it's Title 42. Um, Two very important events involved people getting jobs, involved a huge drastic change of the status quo, and now we have a kind of nativist ideology perpetuating throughout MAGA of the hatred of immigrants. Very similar events. Very similar events. That makes a lot of sense. I do think that highlights something very interesting. Now, JD Vance's claim